Oh my goodness, to say I am nervous is an understatement. I haven't looked at my first resume in a long time, and as someone who doesn't come from a technical background, or my whole career was in fashion until I switched into tech, my first resume getting into tech, it was hard to do because I didn't have any experience to show. Hey everyone, before we get into the video today, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more tech and coding related videos. Leave in the comments other topics you want me to cover, whether it's coding, career, personal, whatever, self-growth. I'm here to support you and your journey into tech and your career, and let's just grow together. Also, speaking of resumes and building your portfolio and breaking into the tech industry, it often means that you will be spending a lot of time building projects, and you really want your projects to stand out. One of the tools I wanted to share with you that really will help your project that you are building stand out is Froala Editor. Froala Editor is a lightweight HTML editor that is written in JavaScript, which essentially allows for rich text editing capabilities for your applications. One of my favorite things about Froala Editor is it is easy to use. When you are working on a new project and coding away, when you use a different tool or service, you want it to be user-friendly. And I love how they have a ton of documentation on their site. It's very developer-friendly. Also, too, it's very easy to extend. So you can literally do anything with the Froala Editor. It's well-written, structured, and documented code. Makes it very easy to understand and further extend. Another thing I always look for when I'm using a different tool or service is how fast is it going to be? I don't want this to slow down my application. And when I was implementing it into one of my applications recently, I noticed right away how it doesn't affect the speed of the website loading or anything like that. It has blazing. They actually say on their website that the text editor will initialize in less than 40 milliseconds, which is pretty crazy. Also too, it's lightweight, so it's not going to bring down your application. And it's secure, which is super important too, especially these days. You hear there's nothing more important than security and the importance of cybersecurity. So it's always something I look for as well. I linked it down in the description, so make sure to go check it out, save it or bookmark it for next time you are building a different project. Okay, let's get back to my cringeworthy resume. Okay, I guess I'm feeling sentimental today because we're looking at my first resume. Okay, let me pull it up here first. Okay, I'll put it up on screen so you can go through this wonderful and embarrassing experience together. I obviously am going to blur out my personal information, but otherwise you get the point. Okay, let's get into it. First things first, I do have to give myself a point because it is only one page long. I don't know why it would be longer than one page, considering I had very little experience at that point in time, but we sometimes like to drag things on, and when we have little or less experience, pad things up almost too much, and then it becomes more fluff. Let's get rid of the fluff. Okay, let's dive in. Summary. I am a driven professional with a broad technical skill set. Sure, broad meaning I didn't know what I was doing. A focused and detail-oriented web developer offering exceptional troubleshooting skills and a talent for developing innovative solutions. I am successfully able to multitask and work in teams, meeting all project deadlines. All right, obviously it could be improved quite a bit looking back on it, but overall it shows that I'm able to work in teams, I'm detail-oriented, I'm driven. Yeah, summary, I would say out of 10 points, it would score like a 7. I don't know, what do you guys think? But I would say like a 7 out of 10. It was pretty good. Then we go into skills. I'm actually gonna stop there. When I'm looking at this, the formatting, something is really off. I think it's because there's no space between the text and underneath the red line. It's like very crammed together, but anyways. Okay, skills. I separated them. Languages, servers, databases, frameworks, other skills. Okay, all right, it's not bad. I mean, HTML and CSS are not languages, but there they are under languages. That's okay though, I think. JavaScript should have a capital S. The dogs are home. Hello, boys. Hello. Hi, I'm just filming. Yes, okay. Hi, Harry. Hi, sweet pea. Go lay down, okay? We're almost done. Okay, sorry, we had to take a little pause there for the dogs, of course. But one thing I really do like under skills that I have is the other skills section. And I think that's something that's really important and not a lot of developers or people, technical people put in is other skills. And I think it's important to show, depending on what kind of company you're applying for, but especially for startups, to show that you have other skills, because a lot of times in a startup environment, you might be doing more than, your typical job description. You might have to help out with marketing or graphic design or things like that. So even today, when I'm making a resume for myself, I still put other skills on there to really show that, I'm a more well-rounded person and it's not just technical. So I do think that it's a good thing to do. I'm not sure why I bolded, rather than bolding the titles, I bolded the text underneath of it. Once again, very unique design choices. We never said Tiffany was a designer. That is a fact. For servers, databases, and frameworks, okay. If I'm being totally honest, when I was putting these things on here, I probably shouldn't have put some of them on because I had very little experience with them. But at the same time, it's that fine line, because when you send an application in, it's usually AI who determines if your resume is going to get passed on or not. And if it doesn't have specific keywords, it's automatically going to just get dismissed. So it is important to put those keywords on, but also to have that balance of not overinflating your resume with things that you actually don't know how to do. So it's that fine line. Education and training. So I put education and training before experience, because at this point in my career, I had very, very little experience, well, no experience in tech at all. So rather than putting my experience first, I put my education first to show, hey, I took a boot camp, I went to university, this is where I'm at, and it's a great way to kind of just highlight more of the technical aspects before getting into the experience. Okay, then it goes down to education and training. I noticed on education and training, I put 2017, but I didn't put the graduation date. And the reason I did that at the time was because I got told by someone that to kind of prevent people from judging you based on your age, whether really young or older, to not put when you graduate. But it is really confusing when I just put 2017. Does that mean I graduated? Does it mean I didn't graduate? I really don't specify if I completed either of these pieces of education, which, by the way, I did. So even if I didn't want to put the date, I should have put maybe something next to it saying completed or graduated. And it's really not clear. So that's something I definitely would have improved. Let's go down to experience. Once again, we clearly are really trying to fit everything on one page here because it's really tight. Okay. Under experience, we have marketing, Holt Renfrew, Toronto, cool. So how do I feel about all this? Thank goodness someone hired me for my first tech job, because it was brutal out here. Okay, so marketing, managed and developed content for social media, worked closely on the marketing team, worked on multiple social media campaigns. So there's really nothing technical about these roles. And as you can read down, for all of them, there's nothing technical other than some content creation, really, but otherwise not really anything. One thing I wish I would have highlighted more on the very first one, Startup Fashion Week, it says at the very bottom, created and managed their WordPress blog and developed posts for the company. I really should have expanded more on the WordPress blog part, because it has more of a technical aspect to it. I could have talked about the plugins we used, how we set it up, and different things like that. And I really missed that opportunity to focus in on that. At the end of the day, though, I didn't have experience in tech, so I needed to put my internships or what I've done up until this point. But I wish I would have, or looking back, if I was to do it again, I would have put more even of the soft skills, more around time management, building teams, communication, because those are skills that can be applied into the tech industry as well, rather than focusing on these bullet points of, very specific things I did at these roles, which really don't carry over into the tech industry. And that's what I would have done differently, is rather than done such specific descriptions, made them more general with specific examples. So manage teams, managed a team of 5 and communicated effectively through solving different problems and then giving an example, something like that. Whereas it's not exactly tech oriented, you can see how transferable your skills would become to tech. So that's something I definitely would do different next time. I also added activities and interests, which when I did this, it was to give that a personable feel to my resume that, hey, I'm a real human. Once again, going back to being well-rounded. I don't add activities and interests on my current resume, but once again, at the time, it was a smaller resume and I had the space. So I think it's a good way to really show that you have other interests outside of work, that you are committing to different things. You know, I have here, I was learning Mandarin, I was doing running. So yeah, I think, you know, it wasn't the worst resume. I mean, it's a little cringeworthy, but it got me a job, so that's good. It got me my first job in tech. And there's so much that you can take away from this, looking at it and just kind of having a good laugh. And we've all been there starting out, you know, just not sure what the heck is going on and just winging it. And that's exactly what this was. It was just winging it, just figuring it out as I went along, and kind of shows, but I'm someone who always just kind of takes it day by day and continues to, as long as I'm improving and growing, just put yourself out there. One of the biggest things for me I had when applying for my first tech job was to know when to start applying. And I get asked this often too, and I don't have a perfect answer. When is the right time to start applying? I think at the end of the day, it's always better to start applying earlier than later. Don't look back and be like, wow, why did I wait so long? Just start applying. And if you keep on hearing no's consistently, like I'm talking over a period of time, because even if you are the most qualified person, you're gonna hear a lot of no's. It's the reality. But if you're really starting to hear no, 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 week after week after week, maybe take a step back then and reassess what is going on. If I'm not even getting the interview to the point where they can meet me, is it something with my resume? Like what's going on here? But I think you can always just put yourself out there and see what happens. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope you not only found it valuable, but also had a good laugh at looking at my first resume when applying to the tech industry. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it though. Would you have hired me, or would you have been like, this is a terrible resume? Actually, I don't know if I want to hear your thoughts because it's a terrible resume. Anyways, I have linked Froala down in the description. Make sure to go check it out, and I will see you all soon. Thanks, everyone.